Away we go. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Lunch and Learn Introduction and Feedback on Available Resources for Local Oral Health Programs on COHTAC's website. My name is Katie Conklin. I'm staff at COHTAC, and I'm very privileged today to talk to you about our website. So we'll go ahead and get started, and thank you so much for your time. So as we're getting started, I'd like to thank the planning committee that put in a lot of time and hard work putting together today's presentation and also the activity that we're going to be doing a little bit later. So thank you so much to Dr. Kumar, Joanna, Keiko, and also Ryan, who is new to the Office of Oral Health and I feel has just been a huge asset, and we just want to welcome him. So welcome to the team, Ryan, and thank you for helping today. A little bit of housekeeping rules. Today is going to be a Zoom meeting instead of a webinar. We'd like to make this informative, fun, involved, engaging. We'd like you to participate and really hear from you when we get to the activity part. So we are going to be testing a new feature called Breakout Rooms, and this is a free feature in Zoom. So as you guys are looking to provide more trainings online for your local oral health programs, this is a way to make your meetings interactive and be able to have some smaller group discussions. And we'll talk a little bit more about what this will look like when we describe the activity in more detail later. We'd like you to participate, so please use the chat box. We have Joanna, Keiko, and Ryan that'll be looking at the chat box and they can get back to you. And the chat box is on that lower toolbar. I know everyone's pretty savvy with Zoom, so please use the chat box just so we can help with the noise. And if you do have a question and you want to talk, we're going to have time at the very end for Q&A. There's a raise your hand feature, I believe. You can raise your hand. The background noise is actually going really well, so we'll keep going. And just a reminder to have fun today. Our objectives today are to introduce the resources on COHTAC's website, provide feedback on web pages, and summarize and report back findings. Our agenda today, and this will be flexible. We'll see how much time that we have once we get to the Q&A, but we really do want to hear from you and make this interactive. So with that, I'd like to go over our website. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to open our web page. All right, can everyone see the screen? I believe that's going to be a thumbs up.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so welcome to the Oral Health, welcome to COHTAC's website. Our URL for the website is oralhealthsupport.ucsf.edu. This is our homepage where you'll come to. This is for the banner, we're always trying to keep this updated, current. This is prime real estate, so we really want to call on our partners and call to action. So you'll see campaigns that are happening, anything new that's on the website or happening at the Office of Oral Health within the local oral health programs. If you have campaigns and you want to share them statewide, please let us know so then we can promote them for you and really help with that engagement. An example of this has been our partnerships with Smile California. They've created some great COVID-19 materials that we've been able to post, and they've also created some resources for the oral health education resource page. Another example is from the Lunch and Learn we had earlier this month from Sesame Street. So the Toothy Dance almost campaign, you can see those resources that are available here. Also on our landing page, below the banner, we have our statement, what we're about. So the California Oral Health Technical Assistance Center provides support and resources to help local oral health programs achieve their goals. We work very closely with the Office of Oral Health to do this, and we are here to help you. Our programs that are recognized from the CDC are oral health education resources. This is more along the lines of health literacy and community promotion. School oral health programs that has the kindergarten oral health assessment and sealants and covers a wide variety of school-based and schooling programs. Tobacco cessation, and also water fluoridation. If you'd like to search for resources, We have our resource center, which is a searchable database. And you can search by audience, topic, type, objective. And maybe you don't know what you want to find or what you're looking for, but you have an idea. There is a search bar that you can type in, and I'll show you that in just a moment. We also have a link to the Office Oral Health's webpage. And we also have news, so updated news, like what's current. So CAHPO recently posted a new article that was in the New York Times on the importance of school-based oral health programs, and especially around COVID-19. So this is a great resource that's new. We try to find what's out there, what's current, what's relevant, and post that. So you can always find the most current news on the homepage. We also have on the right-hand side in our feature block, we have events. So upcoming lunch and learns, webinars. We try to find a variety of them for dental public health. So they'll always be posted on this right-hand column, the top 3, and there are more. And other areas that you can go on the website, you'll find up on the very top, there's a toolbar that you can search by. Our COVID-19 page is a recent page that we've just completed. You can search for resources that are from federal, state, and the Office of Oral Health, and the most recent is always going to be the first one on top. And it'll give you, right below it, it'll tell you what topic it is and then what type of resource. So if, for example, this is a tobacco resource, and if you click on this, it'll actually show you more tobacco resources. So it'll just kind of, you can go deeper into the search. We also have a call out. So if you, in your local oral health program, if you have cases of COVID-19 that are positive within dental offices, this is a link where this is a link you could go to, and I'll bring it up, that there's someone that's been identified within your local health jurisdiction at the public health department. So it may not be the point person for the local oral health program, the project coordinator. It may be someone else within the Department of Public Health. And it has a primary contact and also a secondary contact that has their name, their phone number, their email, and they also have additional comments. So again, if you have any exposures in dental offices, please reach out to this person and report it. It's just really important for surveillance information. We also have a feature block on here that will take you to current and relevant websites that are constantly being updated that have best practices. And then we added a feature that we have an email that goes to the Office of Oral Health. So if you have any questions on COVID-19 exposures, please reach out to this email address and they will get back to you within a day. And then our programs at COHTAC are the school-based oral health programs, tobacco cessation, and water fluoridation. And if you click here, this will take you to the web pages. And for the activity today, we're going to be going a little bit more into this in depth, but I would like to highlight them now. So we have our oral health education resource page, and this was a collaboration with Smile California and the Office of Oral Health Communications Committee. So I'd like to thank them for their support and their time to put together these top resources. And we'd like to use this as more of like a window front for those top choices that we have for our by population, by toothbrushing and flossing, nutrition, activities and games, printed materials, and also for infographics. So with this page, like you can go down, you can scroll. I don't want to make you dizzy, but a lot of great resources that are videos, they're hyperlinked, they're printables. If instead of scrolling that you would like to navigate using the right-hand sidebar, you can go ahead and click under, for example, toothbrushing and flossing, and it'll take you directly to that section. You can see that there are handouts here, and there's also Elmo's Toothy Dance. We did also want to make it really interactive for kids because a lot of kids are at home, they're doing distance learning, and they're on their devices a lot. So we have a lot of free apps, games, videos, like my nephew who loves Daniel the Tiger. So Daniel the Tiger goes to the dentist, there's songs, and also infographics. And then going on the right-hand side, sorry for all the scrolling, we have some messages from Smile California on access to care. And Smile California has a text messaging feature where you can enroll. It's free, I believe, for everyone. and they will send you messages directly to your cell phone. So this is a great way for like getting those messages out, or maybe reminders for brushing, flossing, eating healthy. So this is a free resource that's available. So if you click on here, it'll take you to the website, to the Smile California website, and then you can enroll. So please share that widely. And then we have our school oral health programs page. And this is kindergarten and sealants program. We used to have this broken up into 2 pages. And so we combined everything into one, and to keep it more on, what are those things that you keep in mind for schools as a whole. So the planning, communication, policy, the curriculums, equipment, guidance. And recently we've added a section on handbooks for the kindergarten oral health assessment, because we found out recently on the oral health call that counties are developing handbooks. So please, you can visit them here. And there's also a communities of practice that's led by CAPO with RDHAPs. And then on the side, there are some new guidelines that came out from ASTDD and the National Association of School Nurses. So those are available. And we're trying to put everything that we send out on the listserv onto the website, because we know we fill up your email boxes quite a bit. And this is our tobacco page. And it's broken down into 3 sections: general information, a lot of great resources. We also have dental professionals, kind of what to do for the team roles, behavior counseling, special populations. And then we have the resources page, which we've recently moved to the resource center, which we'll be covering very soon. And this has the video that you may have seen that was created by the tobacco team about the 5 A's approach. Our next page is water fluoridation. And this was created by Dr. Howard Pollack, and it has a lot of great messages on fluoridation. So if you guys are getting requests from the community, or if you kind of want to study up on it, Dr. Pollack is the guru of water fluoridation. So he wrote all of this. And then we also have those top resources that he's selected down here, including some announcements about the 75th anniversary of water fluoridation. And then next on the top bar, we have our resource center. And as you can see, it's very colorful, it's interactive. We had our first resource center was a big table, and we wanted to work with our web services to make this a lot more user-friendly, almost like a Google search, and easy to filter by resources. So we looked at 2 main resources. One was the School-Based Oral Health Alliance library website, and also the American Dental Public Health Association. They have a great resource page. So we use both of those as an example for the COHTAC Resource Center. So a few examples here. You can type into the search bar. So example, if you want to search for, like fluoride, you can put fluoride into the search box, and then you're going to hit submit. And the search is going to generate everything that has fluoride as a topic. You can also, if you want to filter it down more, there's the topic bar, and then there's also the audience. And then you can go ahead and reset that at any time to search again. And then you just go back to the resource center. We also have 9 categories that are taken from the work plan. So we have educational resources. And if you click on here, if you click on the title, or if you click on the icon, it'll take you directly to that page. So educational resources, we have lesson plans from schools, nutrition, drinks, oral health 101. If you have someone new that's come on your team and they're hearing a lot of, about oral health, and they have some questions, this is a great place that you could go to kind of brush up on oral health. A lot of larger websites here. Some of these may look familiar to you, like the Mighty Mouth, COHTAC. Here's a great Train the Trainer program that was built in Sacramento County through their DTI program. We just really encourage you to kind of click around and get familiar with these. If you want to go back to the Resource Center, we have this right-hand column. So you just go to this button, return to the main page. It'll bring you right back. So here are 9 tiles. And a big thing about a resource center, we want to make sure it's current and that we're putting resources into this regularly. So at the bottom here, you can see recently updated pages, and then you can see the date that they were loaded. And say, for example, you have an idea of what you want to find, but you're not sure which category it's in. We have this right-hand side column. So you can search by audience. So if you're looking for things for teachers, you can come in here and then you can look for different resources that are wide-spanning across the website in different topics. You can search by topic. So if you want to look for example, like health equity, you can bring up everything related to health equity, which we've been able to find some really great resources, and Dr. Walton Haynes has worked very closely on building out these resources, so they cover the whole work plan. And I've seen from your work plans that you do include health equity, so these are some great trainings that have been created. And then if you want to search for types, you're like, well, I'm really looking for example, I'd like to find some curriculums. We heard this a lot at the last project directors meeting. You can pull up all these curriculums here. And then if you have your work plan and it's your first or second week and you're like, I just want to look for things on, for example, objective 4, my community health improvement plan. You can bring up objective 4. We have examples from other counties and also some planning strategies that go along with it. And you can always return back to the main resource center. And in this button here, the COVID-19 resources, all of the COVID-19 resources are going to be on the COVID-19 page. So when you click this button, it'll take you off the page and back into COVID-19 resources that are, again, listed from most recent. We also have, under the news and events, we have news. So this is where you can find the latest articles. So again, this is that article that CAPO found on school programs. There's been a lot of news about tobacco and vaping and the importance. Elmo's Tooth campaign. Also, if grants are coming up or announcements from local programs, like this was in Modesto, they had a Wisdom for Wisdom campaign where they were, I think it was a local oral surgical office was providing like free extractions for high schoolers going to college. So if you have anything, announcements that you would like to share, we can also post news from local health programs. We really want to make this website all about you and something that you want to come back to and look at. We have events. This was what we showed on the homepage. The homepage has the top 3. This can have as many as that we can fill it with. So if you see events and you'd like us to post them, please share that. So these are the upcoming events here. And then if you'd like to get in touch with us, we have our About Us page, which has our mission and our values. And with reaching out and networking and building a peer-to-peer group, we sent out a survey recently, so thank you for your responses. We are working on that. In the meantime, we do have an Excel sheet that opens and will give you the contact information of your project coordinator with their email information, their email and their phone number. So you have that list available. And if you have someone new that comes on, we can always update this. Or if you see anything, please let us know. Just go ahead and reach out to the dental director email. And then we have our COHTAC team. A big shout out, thank you everyone. And if you click on them, it'll give more information. So if you want to click on Dr. Shafee, you can read more about his bio, and also it has a list of his publications in here. And then for contacting us, we are working remotely from home. I am in my living room, but we do have an official place that we will be going back to someday. And it has our website information, and it also has a link to reach out to Keiko. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to go back to our home page, and I'm going to stop sharing, and we'll start our activity. Thank you. So let me bring up the PowerPoint and invite our facilitators. Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
All right. So for our next part in our Lunch and Learn today, we're going to facilitate a discussion on the 4 web pages that you see here. And we have our wonderful facilitators that have joined us with their cameras on. And they're going to do a pitch for each of these pages. And then after we're done pitching for each of these pages, because we'd love to get your participation, Keiko is going to help by randomly assigning you to one of these rooms. So it's all going to be random. It's going to be done automatically. And we'll see how it works. So thank you. It's their first time. And with that, Keiko, would you like to talk about the oral health education resources page?
Yeah, please. Well, thank you so much, Katie. And good afternoon. Thank you for joining. My name is Keiko Miyahara. I work with Katie in the California Oral Health Technical Center at UCSF. So as Katie mentioned, we have recently launched the Oral Health Education Resources, which is a collaborative project with Smile California team. So on this page, you'll find many resources that pertains to a wide range of age groups. Some of the resources are videos, infographics, kit for new parents, activities, games, and printable materials. We're always looking to enhance the website and to make it very user-friendly and also up to date. So I'm looking forward to hearing more of your feedback, any suggestions in the breakout room, and how we can enhance this page to make it more helpful. So with that, I would like to introduce Joanna Albo, and she'll be going over the school oral health program page.
Thank you, Keiko. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We get to talk about the school oral health programs page. My name is Joanna Albo, and I'm with the Office of Oral Health at CDPH. And this page talks about approaches when collaborating with and coordinating with schools. So like Katie showed us the page, there's this buckets of information for planning, communication, policy, there's curricula, equipment, and guidance. So there's quite a bit of information for us to go through, but it makes it really exciting. So we'll talk about the ease of the navigation and what's helpful. So I'm excited for our breakout session. So next I would like to introduce Ryan Skaggs. He's new to our Office of Oral Health, and we welcome you, Ryan.
Thanks, Joanna. And yeah, as Joanna and Kitty have mentioned, my name is Ryan Skaggs, and I'm new here, but I'm very happy to be here. A lot of you probably might already know this, but it's 2020, and tobacco is still the leading cause of preventable death in the United States. So COHTAC's tobacco cessation website really looks at what role we as oral health professionals can help play to change that. So in our group, we'll look at the different sections under the tobacco cessation page. So we'll look at what resources is contained in general information, which includes facts about the health effects of tobacco use, as well as the prevalence of tobacco use in California and California laws surrounding tobacco. We'll also look at what resources are on COHTAC's page for dental providers, as well as what other general resources are provided. And so we'll be talking more about, what your opinions are about what resources are currently on the tobacco cessation page, as well as any suggestions that you might have to improving it. So looking forward to working with y'all.
Great, thank you, Ryan, and welcome to the team. We love your energy and your excitement, so thank you.
Thanks. And I'm going to kick it over to Katie to wrap it up with the water fluoridation.
Yeah, so pitch for the water fluoridation. So a lot of you, I'm sure, watched the ADA webinars for the 75th anniversary of community water fluoridation. And we've heard from a lot of you on how you're adjusting your work plans to include community water fluoridation. So on this page, Dr. Howard Pollack has put those top comments, so those top talking points when we talk about community water fluoridation to make it really approachable and accessible. And then we're going to look at those resources as ways and strategies that you can work with your local oral health programs, and you can also share them with your advisory committees. With that, I think we're going to talk about a little bit more about what is it going to look like once you go in these breakout rooms. So we're in the main room right now. So imagine you're in a conference hall, like the PDM. There's that main room, there's the coffee bar. I'm sorry we don't have coffee for you, but that's the main room. And then we're going to walk out the door, and we're going to go into one of these 4 rooms. So Keiko behind the scenes right now has locked down the meeting. So she's going to be able to automatically sort us into 4 different rooms. And once we're in those rooms, it'll look just like the main session. You're going to have that. It's going to look very similar. It's just going to be a smaller group. And I think we have about 70 people on the call, which is great. So we'll have about maybe 15 people per room. And if you can have your cameras on at this point, we want to be able to hear you, make it interactive. We'll spend about 20 minutes on those groups. We do have a little prompt that's going to keep us on track. And after 20 minutes, there's going to be a timer. It's going to bring us back to this main session, and then we'll do a report out. So you want to hear from you on what's helpful, what's missing, and how you plan to use these pages in your local oral health programs. So with that, Keiko, do you want to put us into the 4 rooms? Oh, you're on mute, Keiko.
Okay, so we're gonna open up all rooms in 1 minute and we'll be in different rooms.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, cool.
Woo, this is the one I wanted.
Hey. How are you, Tara? Hi, Laura. Oh, hello, Nicole. Okay, great. We can turn on our audio. Hi, Laura. You look wonderful. Oh my God, I love that. Tara. We got Nicole. All right. Wonderful. We have Dr. Shaw, Aubrey, Bernie from Mariposa. We have Debbie from Sacramento. We have Harleen. We have Ellen. We have Lynn, Aisha, Tracy. Oh, wonderful. Thank you guys so much for being on the webinar today. How's it going so far?
Going good.
Going good?
Air quality is pretty good today. Yeah.
It's going great, Katie. Thank you.
Good. So good to see your faces. And if more want to turn on your cameras, please do. Oh, hi, Larlene. Good to see you.
Fantastic job on that website. I mean, it's really impressive.
We want to keep adding your resources, so please, like if you have videos, I know we have one of Laura from Humboldt when she was presented the award. We want to make it really special for you guys. Okay. We have a prompt here that we can go through, and to make it interactive, we can use the chat box in here, and what we type in the chat box stays in here. So it's not going to go out to the main group. So if you want to type in the chat box, if that's more comfortable, if you want to unmute yourself and talk, or if you want to have your video on.
Hi, Yadira from Yuba County. One thing that I found helpful, can I start?
Please, yeah, I'm gonna put the webpage in the chat box.
One thing that I found really helpful was the virtual trainings for, water operators that Ryan shared with me. I had been looking for something like that to use for the trainings that are part of our activities. And he shared that with me and I was like, oh my God, this is it. We can definitely do that. So that was one thing that really helped us out with an activity we were struggling with.
And was that the flow training on the CDC website?
Yes, I believe it was. Mm-hmm.
And have you guys seen that? I think it is on the webpage. I'm not able to share two things side by side. So if you guys are able to pull up the webpage, then I can type in here. And then before we get too far, would anybody like to be the report out? When we go back to the main room, would anybody like to kind of share, like summarize what we talk about for about 5 minutes? Is that someone talking?
I can do it, Katie.
Great, who's that?
That's Ellen Darius.
Thank you, Ellen. Okay, so we have a reporter. So it was helpful. So the CDC, the flow operators training. And what was it about the training that made it so helpful, Yadira?
I think for me, it was just kind of like a place to start. I really didn't even know how to start to engage water operators, really. So I think it just gave me like a launching point to develop our own thing, and then also just share it as it is. But yeah, I was just having trouble starting that activity, to be honest.
Yeah, I can seem a bit big. Did anybody else have a hard time starting that activity in their work plans? And then there's some comments in the chat box. So I think my phone line has been assigned to one group and my computer terminal assigned to another. Oh, that makes it challenging. Okay, we'll have to look at that. And then we have from Nicole, thank you, Nicole. The city of Pasadena has a water fluoridation system. I hope I can contribute to this group. Great, yeah, no, I'm sure you can. What else has been helpful with the fluoridation page?
I know, hi, Laura McEwen from Humboldt County. We actually had a move in one of our towns to, it was a presentation before the board, the city board, to remove community water fluoridation. So there was this huge gathering, and invariably press came, and I went to the this website and looked at the resources, and I was able to get talking points. You know, it's like, what are the 3 or 4 really important talking points I need to get across to the press about safe, effective, you know, equitable. And that was really, really helpful. So I use this website.
So talking points, like being able to talk to the press, getting your messages out, being clear of what you're saying is evidence-based.
Yep, knowing exactly where they came from. It's from the CDC or whomever. And so that was very helpful with an incredibly fast turnaround, because invariably it's like, oh my gosh, the press is coming in, you know, an hour, and you got to be ready. So
in those moments where, because with water fluoridation, it kind of just pops up and it's very quick. So if you have one of those, then where can you get those PSA messages? Okay, so Monica figured out the issue. Great. What other things were helpful on the web page? Would it help if I brought up the web page for a minute on my screen?
That'd be great.
Okay, thanks. I kind of jumped right into saying hi to everyone. Okay, let me go back. So here's the water fluoridation page. What they offer. Here are the talking points.
Katie, this is Harleen. I ended up some of the links with the campaign for dental health. That was very useful. Trying to see, because I have a split screen, I forget how I got. Yeah, there it is. And they have a lot of good visuals.
Yeah, they have posters. They have messages.
I had a question about the water operator training. I was curious to see if anyone used it and how they're using it. Are they emailing a link to the water operators, or how are they making that connection?
Yeah, and that's the training right down here, the 4-day training online with the CDC. I know. So this has been helpful. Like when you use it, are you guys sending, like how do you use it in your community? Is it something that, I guess that's a great question. Like how do you share it? Because it is a lot of information in one place. So do you like break it down per topic and send it to people? Is it kind of a case study thing, or share it on social media? Or if you have work groups within your advisory committee? Has anyone been sharing, like as you're sharing it, do you have any tips for the group of kind of what's engaged the community around participating in the flow training? And you guys can write in the chat box too, because I sometimes the audio doesn't connect very well. So let me go ahead and add a campaign for dental health. Life is Better with Teeth was a good resource that led to a lot of visuals that you could share. So let me stop sharing and go back to here. what is it, you guys? Sorry, Campaign for Dental Health? Life is better with teeth?
Right.
And then as we look at the page, like what is missing? Like what would you like to see more of that would help you with Objective 6, community water fluoridation? Is there anything that you guys have on your websites now that you're creating them that you have for water fluoridation that's really been helpful on getting the message out?
This is Ellen Darius. In Alameda County, we really only have one jurisdiction, one city that's not fluoridated. And it's because of the way they have multiple water supplies for this area in Livermore. It's really financially impossible to fluoridate that area. So we're struggling with how to educate the community and the schools and bring fluoride in other ways. And, I'd be really great if I could hear from other programs, how they're dealing with a similar situation. If putting fluoride in the water supply is not possible, obviously we're going to look towards school-based programs and fluoride varnish, etc. But in the time of COVID, this is challenging.
Katie, this is Harleen again. I'm not sure because I haven't had enough time to look through, but I think a visual geared towards parents would be nice. Like not exactly rethink your drink, but maybe myths or something around fluoride. So like they understand, filtered water, using filtered water or cooking with tap water still has fluoride, or things that make it user-friendly for parents to basically use tap water, and kind of thinking like something like myths or something where they can understand in a 2-minute visual, what are the steps they can do.
Okay. So being able to have a visual. Okay.
Again, they may have something. I think I saw something in chat. Right. Oh, someone's shared it. Okay.
Well, thank you, Dr. Shaw. Yeah, I don't think your mic is working. I can't hear you. I can see you're unmuted, but we can't hear you. Oh, and then Yadira was saying that they're doing a toothbrush kit mailing program.
Mm-hmm.
And with the visual, having that aimed towards parents. Okay, so hearing community water fluoridation isn't feasible right now because of the cost or some other limitations that you may have. What are some other things that you can do to promote fluoride that's part of your work plans? And then a visual that can show the benefits of fluoride aimed at parents to promote fluoride. So if we can generate some ideas and have those on the webpage of some other suggestions. So we have the talking points, we have resources, and then we can have another link or a document that could be created that has like the different approaches that you can take. So like these toothbrush kits that are going out, or the visuals that can promote community engagement. A lot of times communities don't even know they have fluoride in their water. So like how do you promote like what's happening without creating too much of a bustle or a stir? Okay, and then thank you for sharing that resource. Is there anything else that's missing? Okay, Laura, thank you. On the ADA webinars on fluoride, there was a great organization called something like Moms who support fluoride, very social media based. It would be great to have a link to them. Okay. And I believe this was a group where, you know, moms talk to each other a lot. You have these mom groups, you talk, like you share, like, okay, how do you deal with this child when they're doing, you know, X, Y, and Z? They have this really close network. So they were talking about fluoride, and a lot of times in this study that was done, they were tracking how many times like these moms were citing fluoride. And if we can have something that promotes fluoride that we could share with them, that would, they found in the study, it really helped to change their perception on fluoride being actually healthy for their kids, and now including it. So yes, I will see if we can post the link to that mom's group, because they're constantly posting and sharing with each other about fluoride. And I think the National Oral Health Conference had, when they were talking about fluoride, they were mentioning how important it is to use mom groups as part of social media to get the messages out. Okay, and then we were talking kind of about this too, like how do we plan to use it? You know, we have these resources, how do we move them now from more of like a theory to like implementing them into the community? And there was a comment in the chat box that I didn't read out yet from Ladera, that with the flow, that she shares it with partners in the coalition to plan an email out to water agency, and she's also open to suggestions. So with these toothbrush kits that are going out, or different strategies for fluoride, you know, even like rethink your drink is a great way to think of, like, sometimes people approach it that way, just like having drinking tap water that has fluoride in it. Like, how can you use this? Or how do you plan to use the website?
Katie, going back to the water training resource, I haven't had a chance to delve into, well, we did do a tour before COVID in one of our water districts, but I was curious if the technical center had any information on, like, on the water training end, like, so for operators, is there something that they need to do anyway for, like, kind of mandatory education, and can this be part of it? I guess my question was more geared towards, I can send this link out, but how do we encourage, because I'm sure they're busy with their day-to-day work. I don't know if they'll use it, and I don't know if they'll have the time to sit and do it, but if there's any dialogue from, you know, from that end, if they have something that's, you know, mandatory anyway, and then we can share this link.
So something that's, yeah, with the California Water Board, like they probably do have some kind of training. So if we're talking with them, and if we can include something like this in for California.
Right, and I don't know if it's like credit, like for us, we get, you know, continuing dental education credits towards licensing, but I'm not sure if from their end, if we can share it. And then it would be nice to know, like, because I know the districts that are in our area, but it would be nice to know if they've already participated in or something, so that I'm not kind of, you know, sharing the same resources for them, or they've already got it, you know.
Right, it's a win-win for both. They need the CEs, you have
Right.
something you can provide. It's a good match. Now we'll look into that. UCSF does host a bi-monthly fluoridation advisory committee, and there are representatives from the state water board on there, so we can ask and see how we can make that a win-win, and then share that with everyone and put it on the website.
Yeah. And then as far as planning to use it, I think it's great there. You had mentioned the toothbrush kit, which there was something that we've printed out through ADA. We've like a coloring sheet that we've added that has both the bonus of like an activity for the kids, but then a short messaging on the side. So we're definitely going to use this towards gearing it towards our kids and parents.
Great. And then the time's gone by really quickly. So in the next few seconds, we're going to go back to the main group. And then Ellen, I can email this to you for the summary for the report out. Okay, thank you, everyone. I'll see you in the main room. Great, welcome back, everyone, to the main room. Thank you, Keiko, masterfully done.
Yes. Sorry, I know it was like we were in and we were kicked out. So sorry for the abrupt interruption.
I just looked at the time and I was like, oh, we have less than a minute. Wait, we haven't made it all the way through. So that's some great conversations in each of the groups. People are still coming back in. Yeah, so overall, how was that experience? Does someone want to unmute themselves and just say a few words or write something in the chat box?
It was excellent, Katie. Breakout rooms are always fun because you have a smaller group and you can have a more intimate conversation and have a platform where you can talk to each other. Sometimes it goes over though, and so then you realize that time's up. So that's what happened with us. We had to be kicked out soon to get quickly out of that breakout room. It was fun.
I think it's a great way actually to keep a meeting on schedule because you don't have groups of people that have stayed in the breakout session. They are forced to come back. So though, although abrupt, it brought us all back together immediately.
Thank you. Is this something you would like to use again?
Definitely.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, next we're going to go out into a report out. We have a reporter from each of the 4 groups, and we're going to start with Keiko's group. So Keiko, if you want to introduce your reporter, and then we can turn on their video.
Sure, yes, thank you. So I was in charge of the school oral health resources page, and then Dr. Shakalpi Pendekar is going to be reporting out. So I'm going to have Dr. Pendekar invite her in.
So, Keiko, I wasn't taking notes, so if you want to share your screen, that'd be
Share my
great.
screen. I'll do that right now.
Thank you.
Just one moment. Oh, where did it go? Let me pull this up. All right, can you see the screen?
Yes, maybe if you can scroll up. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so I think, so overall, our group thought that this was a great, the COHTAC resource page and the website looks fantastic. There's a lot of information on there, and we thought it's very comprehensive. There's a variety of materials that people can go to, and someone said it's like a one-stop shop, which I find that as well. You can find pretty much everything you need up there, and you can look it up and you can share it. What was missing was that if there's examples from other counties, like any handouts or any infographics that a particular LOHP has created for their own specific use, and that's not on there right now. So how could we get that up there? And I would imagine then getting in touch with Keiko or with COHTAC, the contact information, which is up there, we can get in touch with folks there and ask them that to be added after review. The other question was that how are these resources are being used in, for example, like in classroom settings? So that's one thing which was brought up that is missing. So even though the resources are available, we don't have information on how exactly our resources and what specific resources are being used in what particular settings. And the last question, I guess, was how do we plan to use it? again, a wide variety of uses, from the flyers to the Smile California site. Just having a checks and balances in terms of like languages. If all of the languages that might be most commonly used, if those are available, having consistent messaging. And then someone also mentioned that they are planning on, because they're developing their LOHP website, that they're going to be using the links from COHTAC onto their own website, so that they're able to disseminate it that way. If I missed anything, Keiko, please jump in.
Yeah, you wrapped it up. Thank you, Dr. Pendekar. So that was from our group.
Thank you.
Stop sharing.
Thank you. Joanna, do you want to go next?
Okay, that would be great. Okay, so ours was the school oral health programs, and Nancy Starr from San Diego was nice enough to volunteer to report back. Just to let you all know, when we started to look at this website, this web page, there's a lot of information. For instance, there's 6 buckets of information on this page, and the audience wasn't really familiar with all the ins and outs. Like, they hadn't had time to really click on everything, so we didn't make it through all of the questions. But we had good questions from the group, and we did have some good feedback. So Nancy, do you want to start with the initial feedback that we had, and then we could talk about the drive-through screening?
Yes. So that was the quickest breakout session I've been in.
Yeah, it went by really fast.
Time
We
went
were
by so
shocked.
fast. Yes, but we did have a good conversation just in the beginning of talking about how helpful it is. So we thought the topic breakdown was really effective for the schools. There's so many different aspects when you're working with schools, and so we really thought the topics were broken down in a very helpful way. One person commented how beautiful it was, and that it was so easy to follow, and that they know it will be helpful. It was also nice to know that there were different ways that you could search things, because Katie mentioned sometimes you really don't know what you're looking for. And so there were different ways to search on the website, and we thought that would be very helpful. We did talk about, as far as like what's missing, we did talk specifically about the COHA drive-through information. So that was one of the pages that Joanna clicked on for us, and one of our group members shared that it would be helpful to have more detailed information from other counties who had done it, and how they were successful, what modifications they made. The information provided was somewhat general. Joanna mentioned that Keiko is working on some of that, so we look forward to being able to utilize that to modify a drive-through situation for our own counties based on sharing of what other counties are doing, like the permission forms, things like that. And then we all thought that, I think we all felt that we could plan to use it in the future, and that it would be a place where we could easily direct staff to go to, and that they could navigate it very easily to find the information that they needed. Was there anything else, Joanna?
No, you did great. Thank you so much. And thank you for the entire group for participating. And thank you, Nancy, for volunteering. You did a really good job summarizing that. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks. And I forgot to ask for a volunteer from Tobacco Cessation. Does anybody feel comfortable walking the group through our flip chart notes who was in our group? If not, I can do it, but I'm hoping someone can jump in too.
And I can help with unmuting someone.
So our group, again, we covered tobacco cessation. So when we looked at what was helpful, something that our participants identified as being helpful was information about the history of tobacco control and tobacco control policies. Also, we had a couple of our members who really liked the breakdown of different tobacco products and their health effects. And then it was also noted that the pharmacology information section would be really useful to providers to understand. As far as what's missing, So one thing that people identified was missing was the links to the latest research, such as vaping on the effects of health of mothers and those who are pregnant. Also, people wanted to see a little bit more detailed resources for information. One thing that people noted that might be very helpful is if we could include success stories for Objective 8 from local oral health programs and figure out, what was working in different programs and to help share this with other local programs. Also, people weren't able to locate information that might help in terms of identifying billing and coding for dental providers and tobacco cessation. As far as what everyone was planning on using it for was Objective 8, as well as sharing this information with other tobacco control programs so they could have more tools in their kit. Now, those of you who were in tobacco cessation group, am I missing anything, or would anybody else have anything to add? Awesome. Well, Katie, you can take it with the water fluoridation.
All right, thank you, Ryan. With the water fluoridation group, we jumped right into it. We had a lot to say, and thank you everyone for your participation. We had cameras on, people were using the chat box. I know there was some, sometimes a little hard connecting, but we had a lot of great back and forth. So I'd like to introduce Ellen Darius from Alameda County. Ellen, I'm going to go ahead and turn on your video if you would like to share.
Okay, great. Thanks, Katie. I did not receive the summary, but I'm going from my notes, and please fill in any areas that I've missed.
Let me bring it up on my screen. For some reason, my Outlook wouldn't send it to you, so I sent it through my personal. Let me bring that up on the screen real quick.
Okay.
Is it okay if I start your camera? Or you don't have to. Let me bring the screen up. I know we didn't tell everyone to be camera ready.
I'm not camera ready today.
Okay, thank you so much. And we actually use the COHTAC website overview for the water fluoridation, so apologies on that part. Okay, thank you, Ellen.
Okay, so I think we had a lot of discussion around the CDC FLO operators training, and there was a lot of positive feedback that was a good training. So one of the things we've discussed is different approaches to promoting water fluoridation besides municipal water fluoridation. And we talked about one county is doing a toothbrush kit mailing program, I assume with fluoridated toothpaste as well. There was some good feedback on the resources from the webpage, that especially the talking points were really helpful if you go before state or legislative bodies. Dr. Pollack's provided some talking points that are very useful on the website. There are some links as well that everybody responded to positively. And there was some talk about a social media group, Moms Who Support Fluoridation, and the idea of linking to this in the future. And also, Rethink Your Drink is still a positive campaign. And there was some question whether the water fluoridation trainings were mandatory for water operators, and Katie said she would look into this. Am I missing anything, Katie?
Oh, you did a great job. Thank you so much, Ellen, for volunteering to be their reporter, and thank you to the group for participating. We will share this. We will share all these web pages and all of your feedback with our COHTAC team and the work on the website, and making this website more about the local resources, what you're creating, what's going to help implement these programs now that you're past the planning phase. And it's great. Thank you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And how are we on time? Great, we're about 104. So we can open it up to questions. We have about 20 minutes for Q&A. If you guys have questions on the activities that we did on the COHTAC website, we can go back and look at it. If you'd like to use the chat box, and I'm curious if you guys can raise your hand so we can unmute you.
It's very quiet.
Hi, Dr. Kumar.
Maybe I can ask, how did this go, this chat room? If we want to replicate this for our project directors meeting, is this something that will work?
Definitely, Dr. Kumar. I think this would be a great way to do it. I know in the past when we've had those project directors meetings, we've probably had anywhere from 4 to 6 little sessions, separate breakout rooms. So that would be perfect to do it that way. I think it gives an opportunity to everyone to sort of participate and discuss particular topics. The only thing is that if someone is interested in maybe 2 or 3 at the same time, then I don't know how you might rotate that so that everybody, if they want to attend more than one, is able to attend more than one. That's the only caveat. But other than that, I think the breakout sessions work great.
Thank you.
We're having a lot coming in from the chat box. Went very well, thank you. It's just chat rooms are a great idea, perhaps give some more time. We really enjoyed the breakout rooms as they allowed us to have smaller, more focused conversations where everyone had a chance to share.
I don't know if other people felt this way, but I sort of feel like I wanted to participate in all of the conversations. And I don't know if there's a way in the future to have a way to get us able to participate in each breakout session, if time allows.
Right, or like pick the breakout session. I know they were randomized. This time around, I don't know if you can actually pick the one you want to go to.
Yeah, I feel like it'd actually be possible to do both of those, right? Right, Keiko? You could potentially have multiple breakout rooms during the same webinar, or you could allow individuals to also pick the breakout rooms they are most interested in.
Yeah, I think as long as we know the topics that's going to be covered, we can definitely individualize it and create different breakout rooms, and people can pick. That's definitely a possibility.
And the great thing with the project directors meeting is we'll have a lot more time. So we can work on the technology, will support it. And my biggest concern today was the background noise. I hear people driving or eating their lunch or something, but the noise has been really nice and controlled.
Now, there was a question in the chat. The question from Primavera is there research regarding oral health and marijuana use that could be shared with dental offices?
Yeah, I'll take that question. There is not a whole lot of research on this particular topic, but in general, we have very good, I wouldn't say very good, but a lot of data on methamphetamine use and oral health. The pattern of cavities in the mouth is entirely different, one can tell. And that's because of 2 things. One, in methamphetamine, it causes dryness of the mouth, and also there is this craving for sugar. And those 2 combinations are bad for cavities. And you can expect something similar with marijuana, especially dryness of the mouth. I don't know about the sugar part. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more research and it will be available to share. So anything that dries, any medication that causes dryness of the mouth, it increases the risk for both cavities and gum infections.
And Dr. Kumar, you're back in the office.
Yes. I'm sitting in my office. Now, I went there yesterday, took a nice picture of my office.
It looks great, Dr. Kumar.
Right.
Yeah, and we can reach out to our tobacco team and find a resource that we can share with the group. There's also a question on, is there a limit to how many people can be in a breakout session? I believe we can have up to 50 breakout rooms, and we can have 300 people on a meeting.
I think it would be also important to keep in mind, like people might want to attend multiple breakout rooms. So if you might want to rotate them or stagger them, or have a breakout room available like at 3 different times, something like that, I don't know. Because there are topics that are equally interesting. And if they're happening at the same time, then you might be pulled in different directions.
So, based on feedback from our last PDM meeting, which focused on promoting kindergarten oral health assessment, how to, some of the materials that can be used for advocacy, going to the board, making presentation, writing letters. A similar topic is about engaging the media. So there are, we don't have a whole lot of money to launch oral health campaigns because we don't have the, if you look at what drug companies do, they have a lot of money and they use it for repeating the messages. So we don't have, our fund will run out in a matter of months. So I don't believe oral health campaigns, media campaigns will be successful because we cannot sustain this effort. So one way to sustain the effort is to what they call earned media. So engage the media to get free coverage. And an idea that we were exploring was, most local health departments should have kindergarten oral health assessment data in by December. And in the month of February, during the Children's Mental Health Month, a great opportunity to engage the media. So there are different ways, whether it is television, radio, print media, social media. So we could have a session on this particular topic with 3 breakout rooms, very similar to what we structured today. So the problem there is somehow we have to gather together and share the information discussed in the breakout session. So I'm wondering about the patients. How long do you think you can be in a chat room, in a webinar? 1 hour, 2 hours, all day? Any thoughts? How long can you stare at TV or screen?
I think if it's different speakers, Dr. Kumar, and if it's different topics, then it's interesting enough that a couple of hours, even 3 hours might not be too long. But if it's 1 person or 2 persons talking and presenting, then it can get monotonous. And then I guess people tend to zone out a little bit. So keeping it more interesting by having multiple people speak or having different people present different things is I think that works really well.
Mm-hmm. Looks like 90 minutes, 2 hours session, some interactive session would be ideal, I think.
This is Nancy. I was just going to add that I think over a couple of days versus 1 very long day would be helpful because so many of us are balancing different things within our counties with COVID that it's hard to give up, like a whole day. And over a couple of days, I think it makes it more available to people. They can pop on and off in different sessions. versus trying to give up an entire day.
Hi,
Thank you.
hello, this is Nicole Evans in Pasadena, and I just wanted to share that I am over the yesterday, today, and tomorrow attending a national conference, and it's all day. So speaking to that, being on a screen all day with a national conference for 3 days, when you have other conflicting priorities, like I'm joining you this afternoon, I think half days is better over a couple of days. And they are using Jujama Connect as a platform. I think HRSA uses that. And because this is a national conference and HRSA is on it. So you might want to look in that. They have a lot of breakout rooms. They have options. They have, it's really detailed. And this is the first time I've experienced it. They are, yesterday they had over 700 attendees, and there were some technical difficulties. So I think that may be because of the number of attendees, but just sharing if it's something you want to explore, because I just thought it would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just put a question into the poll. If we can, would it be okay to, is it okay if I poll everyone to see how long we can stay in a Zoom meeting?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see if this one's gone too long. Okay. So it's in progress. There we go. There's some activity. About half the people, we have 60%. Ooh, we're up to 70%. Okay, this is helpful. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close the poll and then I'll share. Thank you, everyone.
So 2 hours to half a day. Not more than half a day. And not less than 2 hours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're getting a lot of yeses. And was showing the website, I forgot to share our YouTube channel. Do we have time to share the YouTube channel?
Yes.
Yes, thumbs up. Okay. Yeah. Right, thank you. I'm gonna bring up my screen. All right, so we're back on the website, our familiar friend. And if we go up here to the upper right-hand corner, right next to the search bar, you'll see this little gray icon that says YouTube. Really hard to see. If you click on it, this will bring you directly to the COHTAC YouTube station. And we have videos, all the presentations that we've done as part of with COHTAC, the Office of Oral Health, are available here on our landing page. Please like us. We have 2 subscribers so far. And then on the right-hand side, you can see featured channels. So if you want to see what's happening with the California Department of Public Health, if you want to click into the National Maternal Child Resource Center, the Mighty Mouth, Smile, California, and also Salado County, shout out. You guys have a great YouTube channel. And also we have playlists, popular uploads, and then more channels that you can search for. So under videos, this will be all the videos that we've uploaded. Playlists are really helpful. So if you want to like share something really quickly, there's a lot of content under here, and we've broken out the groups so they match your work plans. So if you're, for example, looking under Objective 8, we have tobacco, and we also have sugar sweetened beverages. And under tobacco, we have that famous video with the tobacco team. Yeah, resources are in Spanish, they're in English. They're really easy to share. If you go to any of them, they'll load up here. You can see a lot of Smile, California. There's some Sesame Street. And if you, let me see. So if you want to share with partners on your social media, or if you want to post to your website, we are looking at scheduling a webinar in the future with Smile, California to help you with training. Yeah, please visit our YouTube channel for some videos and also for any of the recordings that COHTAC has put on. I'll stop sharing. And
Katie,
then,
that looks great. When just because that is so tiny, that YouTube,
so
if they forgot that that's there, can they just search it?
Yes.
Okay, I was just curious.
I hope so. Let's see. And then I'll put this in the chat box. Any other questions that you guys have? Or things you would like to see on the website? We got a lot
Katie,
of. Yes.
Katie, what are those featured channels in the YouTube? I saw on the side some featured, like Smile California was listed there.
Yeah, let me show you. So featured channels will take you directly to their website where you can see Smile California and all of their videos.
I see.
In one place. If you want to go to Solano County, you can see they've, so starting 4 months ago, they uploaded the oral health curriculum that they used to teach at the schools as part of a 3-part series. So they have these 5 to 10 minute videos that they now have available on their YouTube channel. So I'd be curious to see like how they're using them. If they share this, they've created the videos and uploaded them, and now they have a URL. So now they share the URL with the schools, and the schools like share these videos with the kids, or if they're for other community events. Lots of great videos. Sometimes people reach out and they're curious to see where to find like toothbrushing videos. Also the American Association of Community Dental Programs, the webinar series that we did this spring and summer, all 5 webinars are available for free. You can watch them anytime. Yeah, so please, if you have a YouTube, please subscribe to us. We have 2 people so far. Well, with that, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your time. We know you have a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of different Zoom webinars and meetings. So we really thank you. We hope you're doing well. The smoke is clearing, and I will. It's just been a privilege to work with you. So thank you so much for the past 2 years, and I will miss you guys very much. So thank you, and thank you to the whole team. This was great. We'll go ahead.
Thank you, Katie. We'll miss you.
Yes, Katie, we're gonna miss you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care. Be safe. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Hi, Katie.
Bye. Be well. Be safe.